Ish, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Ish, Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Hyte, and welcome to CES 2026. Here on this section, we have essentially a time capsule.
All right.
It's basically laid out the past 3 years of R&D
Okay.
in terms of case and fan development here on the table, starting off with Z90. And Z90 we're dubbing as the impossible airflow case. The impossible part because, well, we spent 3 years of R&D trying to actually manufacture this and bring it to market.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of our competitors who make concept cases for shows,
Yeah.
this ended up being a concept because it's just not practical to manufacture at scale.
Okay.
So we really went through the R&D development, which began all the way back here. So our product director, Rob, and our lead designer, Vincent, ended up visiting a museum in Los Angeles. And we really liked the architecture, the parametric curves and cascading shapes. And so that inspired them to really think outside the box, throw everything we knew about how to make a case out the window and start fresh.
Okay.
And so Z90 was born. For many, many months, all we had were a bunch of JPEGs.
Okay.
Then we 3D printed this outer shell a few months later. And when everybody looked at it, we were like, okay, we really have something special here.
Yeah.
But the problem was nobody knew at that point how to actually make it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 3D printing a shell is easy.
Right.
But from there, we started to figure out, okay, how do we actually manufacture and develop this? And that leads us to our second mock-up. And this is where we were starting to get the lines, the curvature, the ribbed architecture, the slice technique, which is the term Vincent coined for how these curves are ribbed and cascade throughout the front to the back of the case. And so it creates this very otherworldly aesthetic that nobody else has been able to do in an airflow-focused chassis. Because at this time, 3 years ago, most of the industry was, oh, let me just shove a bunch of mesh on a rectangle and congrats, you have an airflow-focused chassis.
Right.
Like, oh, that's not good enough for us.
Yeah.
We're Hyte. When we make a case, we do it the best in our category. And so with Z90, this we loved, but the more we thought about it, the more we realized, hey, a single piece outer construction probably isn't the best idea for usability and ease of build.
Right.
And so the next part was, okay, this is still too expensive to make. It's also not practical. So let's dumb it down a bit more, make it more simple. Also create separate panels that you can take on and off.
Okay.
Like a traditional case, so you didn't have to take the whole thing off every time you wanted to build or make an adjustment to clean it up. And so this, what you're looking at, is actually the inner structure of the third mock-up. Now, you may start seeing a lot of resemblance in these shapes.
Yeah. So
Because-
X50.
This is essentially where X50 was born.
Yeah.
Hello. And so the best airflow case, we also wanted to create the best airflow fans.
Yeah.
And part of that was integrating these fans into the design and performance of Z90. And so this is our FA20 Duo. This is our 200 millimeter fans, dual 200 millimeter fans in a unibody. But we wanted to make it smarter and better than everybody else. People have done unibody fans. They've done the whole integrated everything. But it's a nightmare for customers if they need to RMA.
Yeah.
Because if something breaks, something goes wrong, you got to send the whole piece back.
Right.
So we said, okay, let's have modular central fan hubs that you can instantly snap in and out.
Okay.
That way, if you have a broken blade or a broken motor, you just snap that off, put it back in.
Broken blade is the worst.
And then for reverse blade designs, similarly, you can take the blades off, swap them with the reverse design, put the hub back on. And also at this time, we realized for an airflow-focused chassis, a lot of companies were doing proprietary connectors,
Right.
all this, all that. And so we took the approach of zero proprietary bullshit.
Perfect.
PWM controller.
Yes.
Plug it into any fan controller, any motherboard header, it just works.
Perfect.
And for the blades themselves, it's a 6-pole motor, spins it up to 1800 RPM, and that produces over 175 CFM of airflow.
Nice.
So insane performance out of this. Because of the size, we can run it at such a low RPM
Right.
and get that perfect.
Low noise. Perfect.
And
Yeah.
then in terms of noise, up to 38 decibels, so really not that loud at all.
Right.
So that's what we wanted to do, was design a really good airflow focused chassis with exceptional case fans as well. Now, and it was also at this point we started to realize we've been developing this case for many, many years. It's still super expensive to manufacture. So internally, it started off as a joke where it's like, okay, just give me this chassis. I mean, this is cool. I can just build a PC in this. Can I take this with me?
Right.
And then we started thinking about it a bit more, and it was like, wait a minute. What if we took this out, turned it into a universal tray for fans? Same thing on the bottom. We maybe made it a bit more compact, and then all of this deserves to be appreciated and seen. So maybe a curved glass panel. You have X50.
Yeah.
And so that's where X50 was born. And so this is our fourth and final mock-up of Z90.
That is so cool.
And that's really it right there.
And
the
like,
design is
it looks
unlike anything.
It starts up like a triangle getting cut, and then kind of just really cool the way that works.
Mm-hmm. And so even at this point, we went back and did the numbers. We're looking at potentially upwards of $1 million in just tooling costs.
Wow.
And so that's before we would make the case.
Yeah.
Right. And so originally we started off targeting, okay, maybe we can sell this thing for around 300. As we went ahead, it was like, okay, maybe it's closer to 400. And then by the end, it was like, we're probably going to have to do 500 plus if we wanted to MSRP this in the current market. And we really stepped back and thought about if this is the right time, right market conditions to bring something like this out. And to us, it really just doesn't make sense. With the technology that exists today, the costs it requires to manufacture this at scale.
Right.
Unfortunately, as much as we would have loved to bring this to market, it's going to remain a concept for now.
Right.
But we learned so much about how to make curved cases that we took all the learnings. This case we put it was X50 for the design, and all the learnings of FA20 Duo were also taken into consideration for next generation unibody fans. So we will be making more cases and more fans.
Okay.
And transferring all this knowledge into those next generation designs. But for the people today, this is what it took.
Yeah.
3 years of non-stop challenges, hard work, and innovation around every curve.
That's
To
awesome.
get an X50 on your desk.
That's beautiful. And then this is the brand new one coming soon.
Correct. So Astro Orange, we are expecting to ship along with the FA12 fans, also in Astro Orange in the first half of this year.
Beautiful.
So Astro Orange X50 with Astro Orange fans. And you might notice we also have some really nice Astro Orange cables.
Yes.
And so we are coming out with our aesthetic cable kits. Those are going to be sleeved PSU extensions. We're not doing PSU to PSU cables. That requires a lot more complexity. It also introduces issues with compatibility.
I get it.
So we're doing extensions. That way anybody can initiate these and use them with their power supply. Our native 12-volt 2x6 cable, colored connectors on both ends.
Beautiful.
We're not skimping out on that. The cables, nicely braided, beautiful, really nice texture. Feels great and premium in hand.
And they bend nicely. Okay.
Silicone.
Yeah.
So the bend you were feeling, very malleable.
Yeah.
But the best part about being silicone insulated is, let's say 6 months, a year from now, you want to transplant these into a new build. You pull them out, they'll be just as bendy and flexible as
awesome.
the first day.
Yeah.
And not like, Cable Mod or Corsair. I mean, I've built with their cables before, right?
Right.
Braided cables. Once, sometimes even out of the packaging, you got to fight with those to
Right.
straighten them out. That's
So-
not going to be a case with our cables.
So if you saw my video for the Hello Kitty build, we unfortunately had to use white cables.
Yep.
But that would have been so beautiful. So we did it for my buddy's Joe, his wife Kendall, and she loves Hello Kitty. So she liked the white, but I think she would have liked it so much better in pink.
And then
Now she's got it right there later on.
at the show, we've got aluminum cable combs, but due to cost concerns, we are going to have to go with more matte, translucent plastic cable combs. But they'll still be color shaded to match the cables.
Okay.
And they're arched, so they keep and retain the shape of the cables really nicely.
Nice.
And these will be available for 12-volt 2x6, 8-pin CPU, 6+2-pin PCIe, and 24-pin ATX. So you've got the full kit and caboodle here for your entire setup.
So when you do sell them, they won't be aluminum?
They won't be the aluminum cable combs,
Okay.
though.
Because I was thinking, what about grounding? Like, but they'll probably be plastic or something.
They'll be plastic. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that'll be fine.
And it's really to be competitive on cost. As
Yeah.
much as everybody loves the look of the aluminum cable cones, we're talking maybe $20 difference on MSRP.
That's a
I
big
think customers
difference.
are going to appreciate a $20 lower price point.
For sure.
It still looks nice versus having to pay $20 extra for something. Yeah, you'll feel when you build with.
Yeah.
But is it really something that's giving you that extra value?
Right.
And for folks who are interested in the aluminum ones, we will consider aftermarket upgrade kits.
Okay.
So you can buy these separately and upgrade them if they're
Nice.
of interest.
Okay.
And these will be available in all 7 colorways. So black and white are also included, but because everybody does black and white, we didn't want to put them on the desk here.
I love the way that they feel too. Just so nice and cold to the touch.
And then, yeah, that's essentially this wall of Hyte. It
That's
shows you
Amazing.
3 years of progress from left to right, from inception of the craziest case we dared to build
Yeah.
to something you can buy and put on your desk today.
And I also love the fact that you guys did the prints.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Ish.
Yeah, no problem.
It's been awesome. I appreciate it.